Welcome to the deep dive.
Great to be here.
So today we're digging into something I think a lot of us dog owners are curious about: integrative veterinary care. You know, this idea that maybe you can combine like the best of regular vet medicine.
Right, the conventional stuff.
With gentler, maybe more natural approaches to keep our dogs healthy.
Exactly. That's really the heart of it. It's not just chasing symptoms around.
Right. It's more about getting to the root cause, finding that balance for their actual well-being.
Yeah, a balanced path tailored to the individual dog. It's about getting that whole picture of their health.
Okay.
You've got your advanced diagnostics, right?
Sure.
Blood work, x-rays, all that important stuff.
The high-tech things.
But then you layer in these, well, holistic therapies that can help the body heal itself and, promote that long-term health.
Finding the sweet spot where they work together.
That's the goal.
And I think for people listening, the big takeaway or the benefit is maybe getting the most complete care possible for their dog.
Absolutely. You're not forced into an either or choice, high-tech or natural.
You can have both.
You can. And it really focuses on the long game, keeping them well for longer, maybe even avoiding some of those harsher side effects from certain treatments.
Yeah, that's a big one. So our goal today is really to help people understand what this looks like, maybe how to find a vet who thinks this way, and how to start building a wellness plan that's, well, unique to their dog.
So let's just define it clearly. What is integrative veterinary care?
Good idea.
At its core, it's really a thoughtful mix. It blends conventional medicine, your standard blood tests, surgery, medications.
The usual stuff.
Right, with holistic therapies.
Right.
And that could be acupuncture, herbs, chiropractic, maybe specific nutritional approaches.
Okay.
But the key word is thoughtful.
Yeah.
It's not just, throwing everything at the wall. It's strategic.
Right, it's strategic. So it's not about ditching modern medicine at all.
Not at all. It's asking, okay, what else can complement this? How can we support the body better?
Can you give us a concrete example? Like, paint a picture.
Sure. Let's take a dog with arthritis. Pretty common, right?
Very common.
So a conventional vet might do x-rays, see the joint changes, and prescribe an NSAID, a pain relief.
Standard approach.
Yep. Now, an integrative vet, they'd likely do those exact same things. The x-rays, maybe the NSAID.
Okay.
But they'd also think about adding, say, acupuncture to target the pain and inflammation right in those joints. And they might also recommend something like omega-3 fatty acids, specifically for their anti-inflammatory effect and supporting cartilage.
Okay, so you're tackling it from different angles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're managing the immediate pain, but also working on the underlying inflammation and joint health with other tools. It's just more comprehensive.
That makes a lot of sense. I think I read somewhere that this combination can be really effective.
Oh, definitely. There's good research backing this up.
Yeah.
A study a little while back, I think it is in the Journal of Veterinary Internal Medicine, showed that this kind of combined approach could improve mobility in arthritic dogs. And get this, actually cut down their need for pain meds by up to 40%.
40%? Wow. That's significant.
It really is. It tells you a lot about the potential when you bring these different modalities together properly. Better comfort, better quality of life.
Okay, that's compelling. So if someone's listening now and thinking, yeah, I want that for my dog, how do they even start finding a vet who practices this way? What questions should they ask?
Finding the right fit is so important. When you're talking to potential vets, get specific.
Like what?
Ask things like, do you use functional lab tests? Maybe mention microbiome analysis specifically, alongside the standard blood work.
Okay, functional tests. What else?
Ask about their approach to chronic issues. How do you usually handle things like allergies or kidney disease? Their answer tells you a lot about their philosophy.
Right. Do they just reach for the prescription blad or do they have other tools?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And definitely ask, are you certified in things like acupuncture, herbal medicine, or chiropractic care?
Good, specific questions. And you brought up certifications. Are there particular ones people should look for?
Yes, absolutely. Credentials matter. The American Holistic Veterinary Medical Association, AHVMA, that's a big one for holistic practice.
Okay, AHVMA.
If you're interested in acupuncture, look for IVS certification, International Veterinary Acupuncture Society.
IVSA.
Got it. And, it's probably worth doing a quick search on the accrediting group itself, just to see what their training involves, make sure it feels robust to you.
That's a great point. Don't just see the letters, understand what's behind them.
Right.
What about online reviews? Can they be helpful?
They can be, yeah. But you got to read between the lines a bit.
How so?
Well, obviously search for holistic vet near me or integrative vet. But then look for reviews that mention things like collaborative care or personalized approach.
Okay.
Did the owner feel like the vet really listened? Did they tailor the plan? Those are usually good signs.
And you had a smart tip about not just reading the glowing reviews, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Check out the 1-star, 2-star reviews too. Seriously.
Why is that?
Sometimes the negative reviews highlight real issues, maybe poor communication, billing problems, or maybe an aspect of their approach that just wouldn't work for you. It gives you a more balanced picture.
Get the full story, good and bad. Makes sense. Okay, so we know how to look for a vet. Let's talk conditions. Where does this integrative approach really shine? Arthritis came up already.
Yeah, arthritis is a perfect example, especially in our senior dogs. It's just so common.
So beyond the NSAs and physical therapy, what else?
Well, on the holistic side, something like cold laser therapy is showing really good results.
Cold laser, how does that work?
It uses specific light wavelengths on the tissues. The idea is it increases blood flow, cuts down inflammation, helps with healing. Some research suggests it's effective in like 80% of cases.
80%, that's impressive, especially for dogs maybe sensitive to long-term meds.
Exactly. And then there are supplements people hear about like turmeric or curcumin.
Yeah, turmeric comes up a lot.
Right. Well, its active bit, creamin, has known anti-inflammatory properties. There's research suggesting that for mild arthritis, it might actually offer pain relief similar to some NSAIDs, like carprofen.
Really? Comparable.
In some mild cases, yeah. It's often part of a bigger plan to manage inflammation naturally.
Okay, arthritis is a great example. What about other tough chronic conditions like chronic kidney disease? That's a hard one.
It is a very challenging condition, and integrative care can offer really valuable support alongside the conventional stuff, like the special kidney diets or IV fluids.
What kind of support?
Well, one thing being explored is astragalus root. It's an herb. Some evidence suggests it might help slow the disease down by reducing protein loss in the urine proteinuria.
Interesting. Less protein loss is good for the kidneys.
Right. And even something relatively simple, like subcutaneous fluids under the skin that your vet can teach you to do at home, that can be huge for hydration and just helping them feel better. It's often part of an integrative plan.
Got to know their options to support them through that. Okay, let's switch gears. What about behavioral stuff like anxiety? So many dogs struggle with that.
Oh, absolutely. Separation anxiety, noise phobias.
Yeah.
It's widespread.
Yeah.
Conventionally, vets might consider SSRIs, meds like fluoxetine.
Right.
But holistically, there are some great options too. L-theanine, for instance. It's an amino acid from green tea.
L-theanine, what does it do?
Research shows it can help lower stress hormones, but without making the dog drowsy or sedated. So calmer, but not sleepy.
That sounds really appealing, actually. A gentle approach. What about physical things like special types of massage?
Yes. T-touch massage is one specific method. It involves very gentle, specific touches and movements.
T-touch.
And interestingly, studies have shown it can actually lower an anxious dog's heart rate by as much as 20%.
20% just from touch. Wow.
Yeah, it shows how these non-drug approaches can have real, measurable physical effects on stress by calming the nervous system.
Fascinating. Okay, so let's pull this together. How do we build a personalized wellness plan using these ideas? Starting with something basic like diet.
Right, diet's fundamental. Conventionally, you do your annual blood work, check organ function.
Standard stuff.
And an integrative vet builds on that. They might suggest rotational feeding, switching proteins periodically.
Like, do that.
It can be good for gut health. Maybe helps prevent food sensitivities from developing because they're getting a wider variety of nutrients.
Okay.
And they might focus on functional ingredients. Things added for a specific health benefit, like certain mushrooms, reishi, turkey kale for immune support.
So food is medicine almost.
Kind of, yeah. Thinking beyond just basic nutrients.
What about mental health in this personalized plan?
Well, conventionally, if there's aggression or something, you'd look at behavioral training. An integrative plan might add holistic tools, like pheromone diffusers. Adapsol is a common one.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those.
They release calming signals, good for stress during storms or being left alone. And also enrichment toys.
Like puzzle feeders.
Exactly. Toys where they have to work to get treats. It stimulates their brain, fights boredom, helps reduce anxiety. Simple, but effective.
Love those. Okay, last piece. Preventive care. How does integrative thinking apply alongside vaccines and fleetic stuff?
Yeah, Absolutely acknowledges the importance of core prevention, like vaccines and parasite control, no question. But it might add layers. For instance, some integrative vets suggest occasional gentle detox protocols, maybe using milk thistle for liver support or dandelion root, especially after, say, medications or chemical flea treatments.
Kind of helping the body clear things out.
Sort of supporting the body's natural detox pathways. And chiropractic adjustments can be preventive too, especially for active dogs.
How so?
Keeping the spine aligned helps maintain mobility, potentially preventing injuries later on.
Proactive support. I like that. Now, you shared a really great story before about a specific dog, Max the Dachshund, and how this all worked for him with diabetes.
Yes, Max. He was a sweet 9-year-old Dachshund diagnosed with diabetes. His owner was, understandably, looking for ways to manage it, hoping to maybe not rely solely on insulin.
A common concern. So what did their integrative plan look like?
It was a really nice blend. Conventionally, yes, he got his twice-daily insulin and they monitored his glucose carefully.
The essentials.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But then they added things. Big dietary changes, high fiber, low glycemic index foods.
Yeah.
Think pumpkin, lean turkey, help stabilize his blood sugar.
Smart. What else?
They used a supplement, chromium picolinate. There's some evidence it can help improve how the body uses insulin.
Okay.
And they did regular acupuncture sessions, targeting specific points thought to support the pancreas, like BL20 and BL21.
Wow, really multifaceted. And what happened with Max?
The results were fantastic. Over about 6 months, they were actually able to decrease his insulin dose by 30%.
30% reduction. That's huge.
It was. And his owner reported his energy levels were much more stable, less up and down. It's just a great example of how combining things with veterinary guidance
Crucial point.
can really improve outcomes, and it may be lessen the reliance on medication alone.
That's wonderful for Max. But it's also really important, isn't it, to know when conventional medicine is absolutely the way to go.
Oh, critical. Absolutely critical. Integrative care is amazing for chronic issues and wellness, but there are times when conventional medicine is non-negotiable.
Like what?
Emergencies, number one. Severe trauma, poisoning, sudden collapse. You need immediate conventional intervention. That can be life-saving.
Right. No time for herbs then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also, serious bacterial infections usually require antibiotics. That's the standard, effective treatment. Don't delay that.
Okay.
And for getting a clear diagnosis, especially for something complex, tools like MRI, CT scans, biopsies, those are conventional and often essential.
So knowing when each approach is most appropriate, and you have a really key piece of advice about making any changes right now.
Yes. Please, everyone listening, always talk to your vet before you stop, start, or change any prescribed treatment. Seriously.
Don't just go rogue based on something you read online.
Please don't. Integrative therapies should work with conventional care, guided by your vet. And remember, biology takes time. Be patient, work with your team.
Excellent advice. So wrapping this up, what's the main thing you hope people take away about integrative vet care?
I think a core idea is empowerment. It empowers you, the owner, to be a really active, informed partner in your dog's health.
Yeah.
It's about thoughtfully using all the tools, modern science, and holistic wisdom to create a truly tailored plan for your dog's long-term vitality.
A personalized path to wellness. And maybe a final thought is just by being open to exploring these options, talking with your vet, you really can find a more complete way to support your dog's health and happiness.
Couldn't agree more. And just quickly, for folks interested, this was a part 3 on integrative care. Our previous deep dives on senior dog care and detoxing the home might be useful companion pieces too.
Great suggestions. And really, at the end of the day, your love and your attention, that proactive care, that's the most important thing for your dog. Thanks so much for joining us for this deep dive.
My pleasure.